Even as Modi Sarkar machinery is hotly pursuing the VVIP chopper deal, India today has picked up inside information for another massive scam hunt being on. The focus this time is on two Navy tankers and yet another Italian firm, making us wonder on the connection between the Italian firms and the former UPA governor. Senior editor Gaurav Sawant has dug out this most exclusive story.
As the firestorm over the Augusta-Westland VVIP chopper deal rages on, a much larger defense scam could be afoot in the country. A scam that dwarfs the Augusta deal and one that has far bigger implications. Indian Navy fleet tankers, INS Deepak and INS Shakti, that provide the Indian Navy's frontline warships with fuel, water and all other essentials while out at sea. But the deal signed to acquire them in 2009 is now under a massive cloud. A whistleblower naval officer still serving has raised the red flag on these two ships and asked the Modi government to investigate the deal with Italian shipbuilder Fincantieri. Top sources tell India Today that Defence Minister Manohar Parrikar has ordered a discreet inquiry to look into the massive allegations.
I can't believe that the people in authority would have deliberately allowed military-grade steel to be downgraded to commercial steel without giving reasons.
But certainly it raised an alarm as far as the operational ability of operating the tanker is concerned.
The allegations are simple and devastating. In 2006, India floated bids for two Navy tankers. 3 countries responded: Russia, Korea and Italy. Only the Russian firm offered the required military-grade steel designated DMR 249A. But India suspiciously relaxed the steel requirement and Russia backed out. In 2009, Italian firm Fincantieri won the deal for 2 tankers. In 2010, India's national auditor criticized the deal, even saying that undue favors were given to Italy. And now in 2016, a serving naval officer has sounded the alarm officially with the defense minister, and the MOD is learned to have begun a discreet inquiry. In simple terms, the UPA government stands accused of allowing inferior grade steel in naval ships just to favor an Italian firm, Fincantieri. What's raised the stakes even higher is that one of the tankers was recently involved in an accident that damaged its hull, raising serious questions about the steel.
Sources say there are questions that Navy's leadership and officials in the Ministry of Defence need to answer. Why was grade DMR 249A steel not used, which is military grade steel, for the construction of 2 Indian Navy fleet tankers, and the incident that took place where the ship had to be rushed into the Lisbon port with 4-inch cracks on either side of the hull? Did it have something to do with a lesser quality steel being used? Who cleared the use of lesser quality steel and why? Did the prices come down, or is there more to it than meets the eye? Will the Ministry of Defence now order a CBI inquiry in this case, as is being requested by some officers?
Given the timing of the deal, the naval whistleblower that India Today spoke to asks an even bigger question. Why so many favors at the same time to Italian firms? Were the same people involved in pulling the strings in Augusta-Westland as well as a potential warship scam? With Gaurav Sawant in Delhi, Bureau Report, India Today.
Well, the big India Today exclusive has led to a massive face-off between the Congress and the BJP. Naval officers and the veterans are alarmed that the acceptance of inferior quality steel instead of military grade steel for the construction of the warships. Let's now get you the impact of the India Today news break.
India Today's news break on allegations of massive irregularities in the procurement of fleet tankers from Italy in the UPA regime has sent shockwaves through the system. The story sparked off a fierce political fight between the ruling BJP and the opposition Congress.
The Augusta Westland also has a similar kind of bidding and similar kind of players who were, because the industry which produces military goods are more or less same.
Well, we would like the Defence Minister to make a statement. He should be doing his job correctly.
Next, former admirals have raised red flags seeking a detailed investigation.
The acceptance of the certification of the ship was done under the what is called an RINA standard, which is much closer to the Indian Register of Shipping and not as per the Lloyd's shipping registration.
There are 10,000 merchant ships or more sailing with merchant ship steel and not sinking every day. But this particular case, there's no harm.
It should be investigated. I mean, there must be. I can't believe that the people in authority would have deliberately allowed military grade steel to be downgraded to commercial steel.
Experts are convinced there needs to be a full-fledged investigation into the alleged corruption.
There should be a thorough investigation as to why the inferior grade steel was used.
BJP lawmakers are promising to escalate and have the matter thoroughly investigated.
As I told, I am going to take up this issue in Public Account Committee simultaneously with the Defence Ministry. We will have to pursue this with ED or CVC or maybe CBI.
The matter will be certainly looked into and the government will take an appropriate view and an appropriate action.
The question now is, will these alleged irregularities in the procurement of fleet tankers in UPA's regime snowball into the next Augusta scam? Sources are telling India Today this could well be bigger than the Augusta Westland investigations, because similarly, requests for proposal had certain qualifications which apparently were watered down, and sources say this needs to be investigated. Why? Is there an investigation? There appears to be a discreet inquiry to ascertain more facts. With cameraman Ankur, Gaurav Sawant in Delhi for India Today.
Setting the agenda on Augusta. Now making waves with the next big potential arms scam. The national news break no one can ignore. India Today, the stories others follow.